Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Ryder back with another classic. And as you can see, we in traffic today, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Headed to the ports right now. But luckily, when you live in Southern California and you drive trucks, this is what you got to deal with, you know. But it's all good, though, you know. The beautiful thing about California is there's too many damn people here. You know, a lot of people been leaving California and going to Texas, then they end up moving back because there's no place like Cali. But for all my people out there thinking about being a truck driver, this is what you guys are going to have to deal with on a daily. All right, but before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button for me. Let's get it. So I got a quick little video for you guys. You know, a lot of people ask me, is it worth working in ports and how many loads per day you can do? Alright, so first things first. If you work the night shift, of course you're gonna get a lot of work done. Okay, from the Inland Empire to the ports and back to the Inland Empire, that's considered one trip. Okay, so there's been times when I worked the night shift that I got 3 full round trips done. Okay, that was a beautiful day, made like $1,500. Okay, so how I maneuvered that situation, I booked my first appointment at 6 o'clock. Then I booked the next one at probably like around 9, and I booked the last one like around 1. But the good thing about that night was it wasn't no traffic on the freeway and the ports were empty, and this was on a Friday night. Okay, that's why when the ports is busy, instead of partying on Friday night and doing other things, I'm at the ports, because a lot of drivers do not drive at the ports on Friday night. And the ports is empty. The freeways is empty and the ports is empty, right? So I'm knocking out 3 loads, 3 full round trips, and the loads back then were paying what, like 500 plus a round trip. And I probably that night I spent like 400 on gas. So 3 round trips, I made like a profit, probably like close to 1,200, you know. And I was able to do it in between a 14-hour shift. Other times, usually you're guaranteed, if you work night, to knock out your 2 loads. Okay, some drivers, you know, they work all day. Like I know some drivers out there that live in their trucks and just work the ports. First shift, they'll knock out 2 loads round trips, and then second shift they'll do the same thing, and they're knocking out 4 loads a day. Okay, and they're working all day. The ports close at 3. They're sleeping in front of the ports, and when the ports open at 7 o'clock, they're the first ones in line to get to the ports. Okay, which is a cool situation for them, but like Monday through Thursday, they're actually living in their trucks and they're hustling. Me, I can't live like that, you know. Like, to me, it's not worth it to be working all those hours. You know, I do enjoy being at home with the family. I do enjoy sleeping. I do enjoy going to the gym and doing other things. I can't work like that. Okay, but because it's been some days where I did 2 full round trips at the ports, got some waiting time, and made over $1,500 just for 2 round trips. So you don't gotta kill yourself to make good money being a local driver working 14 hours a day at the ports. And yes, sometimes you'll work 16 hours, you know, but it is what it is when you trying to chase the money, you know. And my advice to all the new drivers that's getting into trucking and getting into the ports, and the people that's thinking about switching over and coming to the ports, it's worth it. But I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Right now, of course, the rates aren't what they were last year. They're getting a little better, but it's gonna take time for things to get back on track how they used to get. Like right now, I'm working in the morning, right? So the one thing about working first shift, look at this guy on the shoulder. So you got to be careful, and that's why I kind of give myself a little space, because this guy was impatient and he just wanted to drive up the shoulder just to get nowhere quick, you know. And you got to be careful, because truck drivers do stupid stuff like this, and people do stupid stuff like this. You know why? I don't know where that person in front of us thinks they're going. Then they get in front of me and drive slow. Like that's the thing in the beauty of trucking in California. Like, you have to have patience, and you got to be a defensive driver, and you have to be alert. You got to watch your mirrors at all times. You got to watch in front of you, your sides. And I try to leave myself a gap in between me and the vehicle in front of me, and I don't like cars on my right side, because if something happens and I need to go to the right lane, then guess what? I'll be able to get out of a dangerous situation. But if I'm stuck, then, you know, I gotta slam on brakes and try to avoid an accident. And in California, on this 60 highway, if you're a new driver or an old school driver, always drive in the 2 right lanes. Because right when you driving down the 60 going west, right before you get to that 71 and that 57 freeway, it's a nice motorcycle cop, right? And he just sits there all day, every day, writing tickets, because guys are in the 3rd lane. And that's a hefty ticket, you know. I got one of those tickets back in the day, probably like 6-7 years ago, coming down the Grapevine, trying to pass the driver. The ticket was like $1,200. I don't know what it is now, but I would try to avoid a ticket like that at all costs. But back to business. So, being a daytime driver, you can get 2 round trips done. I never got 3 round trips done during the day. Sometimes it sucks. It takes you what? 2.5 hours to get to the ports, 2.5 hours to get back to the Inland Empire. That's 5 hours right there. Then if you're bobtail and they're not giving out chassis, you might have a 5-hour day at the ports. So that whole 10 hours right there, you only gonna get 1 load done. But with the waiting time and everything, you'll get probably like $800 on 1 load. And to me, that's perfect. $800 on 1 load and hanging out at the ports, chilling. It's all about waiting, you know. And a lot of OTR drivers, they keep asking me as well about how much you make per mile. In the port game, we don't really go by what we make per mile. We go by what we make per load. You know, and the goal is to get $500 plus a round trip, and you spend at least $150 to $200 a round trip on gas. So you're making a $300 profit for the day, you know. And sometimes you make way more with the loads. If it's a hot load, I done book loads, a hot load for $650. Okay, I done book loads for $650, going 2 loads a day. So that's and put $300 in fuel, and that's $1,000 profit right there, you know. But that's when the ports is cracking. Now that the ports is kind of like up and down, it's gonna be hard to make that money. But you know, I'm not the type of person that likes to work during the day. I'd rather work during the night, but most of the loads lately have been during the day, and that's where the money's been at, you know. So pretty soon, once it starts getting busy, I'm gonna convert back to doing night shift, you know. But we gonna see how it goes. So when you're working the first shift, you'll get about 1 to 2 round trips. Okay, but you're gonna average every day 2 round trips, and it all depends on how much you really want to work. Because I had this one situation back in 2021. I had this account. I was working first shift, making $1,400 a day, and I would just bobtail to the drop yard, grab it empty, take it to the ports, pick up a load, take it to the drop yard, and I would do like 4 or 5 of those a day, right? And I'll make $1,400. Easy situation. So when the ports get back to where they need to be, that's going to be the type of money a driver can make. Work like you're gonna make $1,000 plus a day working the ports. Okay, it's gonna be very easy for you. You just gotta hustle and find the right situation to work for where you can make that kind of money. A lot of drivers keep asking me how to find work, and I made plenty videos about how to find work, but the best way for a driver to find work is on Craigslist. If you get on Craigslist, click on jobs, click on transportation, all the Class A positions is going to pop up. If you're an owner-operator, put owner-operator in the search box, and all the companies looking for owner-operators will pop up. And if you have a truck and you're in Southern California, you'll always be able to make money for yourself. You might not be able to make the money that you want to make right now, but it is the slow season. Always remember that January and February is always the slow season in trucking. And I've been able to find work, and I've been working during the slow season. So in my opinion, when the slow season is over with in March, guess what's going to happen? Things are going to get better. The rates is probably going to go up, right? And to me, in California, it's all a game, right? They hit the truck industry with the AB5 law. That destroyed the industry. That tore us apart. So what they're doing is they're trying to get the little guys like me and the owner operators that have one truck, and that's trying to build to 100 trucks, because that's always going to be the goal. They're trying to get us out of the trucking industry. Okay, and it's working for a lot of companies right now, because a lot of owner operators are getting out of the business, selling their trucks. A lot of people are going to Texas, going to different Georgia, going to different places, and trying to work outside of California. But guess what? When all of us owner operators are out there getting out of the owner operator business and selling our trucks, you know what happens? Those companies go and buy more trucks, and those owner operators are becoming company drivers. There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you choose to do with your time. But to me, it's like if you can park your truck for a few months until things get better, then do that. But don't just get out of don't just sell your truck and get out of the owner-operator business altogether. I mean, if you're gonna sell your truck and open another business and get out of trucking, that's cool. But don't. Now's not the time to sell trucks. I would thug it out and keep my truck as long as possible. Because once things get better and the rates go up, the prices of trucks will go up. Okay, and just like last year, at the beginning of last year in 2021, trucks were so damn expensive because the money was so good in trucking. Now that there's not a lot of money in trucking, the truck prices are going down. And with the AB5 law, if you guys been watching my videos, I will be getting my LLC started. I will be getting my permits in order. I will get my insurance. Do everything I need to do. Right? Everything I need to do. And I will go get a truck. Or if you guys don't want to spend all that money on a truck right now, just get your permits and everything in order and wait a few months, then go get a truck. The time is now. Things will get better in trucking. Because just think about it like this. If things don't get better in trucking, then the whole economy is going to go to shit. Everything is going to fall apart in California. You know, but that's what they're doing. They're trying to get us little owner-operators out of the owner-operator business and work for them. Don't do it, guys. Okay? Hold on to your trucks. Things will get better. And for all those who keep asking me, you could do up to 3 loads a day working the ports. You guys just got to grind and watch these videos, because they're going to help you guys maneuver in different terminals, so you guys will be able to get in and out these terminals. All right, thank you guys for watching the video. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button for me. Got a lot of content coming. Let's get it.